Hello and welcome. This is Rowena's Curse, a classic Thief 2 fan mission adventure made by Lady Rowena. This was her debut release, and it's my favorite mission from her. Garrett has been contacted by a nobleman, Lord Carlisle, whose daughter Isabella has gone missing at an estate owned by the family of Isabella's fiance, a Cedric. The mansion is being investigated by Truart. This takes place sometime around the Angel Watch mission, I believe. Anyway, despite Sheriff Truart's men and combing over the place, no sign of Carlisle's daughter has been found, so he's gotten desperate enough to hire Garrett to find her. I don't want to say much more, because I might spoil something, even though it's a pretty well-known fan mission. Rowena's Curse. Read Lord Carlisle's letter. Find Lady Isabella's diary. Find out what Barker knows about this mysterious affair. Even though you will be rewarded handsomely for your troubles, don't forget that you're a thief. Get at least 8,000 in loot. You're a thief, not a mass murderer. Don't kill any humans. Search for Lady Isabella, and if she is still alive, take her out of the mansion through the front gate. We jumped over that wall, but
Damn.
We had a hard landing and a bunch of our stuff broke, but Oak, including the sword, must not have been a very good one, since a little fall like that just wrecked it. But whatever. We still have our blackjack and our lockpicks, so we're good to go. Let's read the letter. Mr. Garrett, I would never have thought that I would need your services, but sometimes life has a few surprises in store for you. Perhaps you've already heard of me making my daughter Isabella marry Lord Bafford's son Cedric. They went to live in the country, in the old mansion that belonged to Lord Bafford's great-grandfather. However, strange things have been happening in the last few months. Sheriff Truart's men were already there because of the mysterious disappearance of two of the maids. Isabella vanished a few days ago as well. I recently received a strange message from Barker, the caretaker. He is certain that Isabella is still alive, and he urges me to do something about it without even giving me any proof or explanations. Mr. Garrett, I want you to go there and find out what happened to my daughter. You will be well paid for your services, but if you manage to bring me back Isabella alive, you will receive a reward that you will be able to retire for good. Start out by discovering what Barker knows, then find out what happened. I'm warning you now, I have no intention of letting Truart know that I don't trust him or his men at all. He would not be pleased if he knew I recruited a thief to finish the job he and his men cannot do. Therefore, if you are caught, I will not help you in any way, and I will deny involvement. Good luck, Lord Carlisle. P.S. Isabella used to keep a diary. If you were able to find it, there should be some interesting information in it. Only way out of this part is through this hole, which leads to sewers. Luckily, this sewer section is over almost as soon as it starts. Gotta be careful, because this part of the mansion is pretty cramped and there are a lot of guards. After discovering a hole in the outer walls, the turbine room is now to be locked at all times. A sentry will also be placed to guard the door, day and night. Lieutenant Wilson. Huh? I have no idea what set this guy off, but I suppose it doesn't matter. Vlad. Vincent. Sorry, I have a habit of reading the name. Guards when they're named, or bodies when they're named, whatever. Oops. That was unnecessary. Venetius. Never seen. Don't remember that name. Jason, I wish I had taken your advice when you told me not to join the ranks of Sheriff Truard's guards. I shouldn't be stuck in this horrible place. We're staying in a filthy cellar with no lights or running water. There are lots of rats down here, and yesterday I also saw 2 big spiders. I can only hope that they're not venomous. Officially, we're here to investigate, but we aren't doing anything. All we're doing is patrolling the house day after day. The only good news is that the new maid Lisette. I'm telling you, Jason, she's really something. If only you could see her. I'm quite fond of her. She's very charming. Maybe one day I'll summon the courage and declare myself to her. I have many more things I wish to tell you, but I'm being summoned now. I'm on duty tonight. I shall write you soon with more news. Your friend, Willie. Somewhere in here are the spiders that Willie mentioned. Oh crap. I don't remember if there's anything valuable there. I saw her. I still can't believe it, but I know I didn't imagine it. I saw her with my own 2 eyes. I was patrolling the garden when she suddenly appeared out of thin air. She seemed to be staring right through me at my very soul. Her lips slowly curled into a wicked smile. It suddenly felt like all my muscles had turned to water, those gleaming eyes, that evil smile. I was paralyzed with fear. When I finally snapped out of it, I ran away as fast as I could. I was heading in this direction when I ran into Barker. He asked me what happened, but I just told him it was nothing. I just couldn't tell him. I can't tell anyone. They would all make fun of me if I told them what I saw. Oh, I wish I could leave this cursed place. Better get away from him before I drop this. I saw Silas open his hiding place under the stairs. If only I could discover where he keeps his key. Like that note said, this part of the wall, this hidden compartment in the wall needs a key.
Something there. I guess it's nothing now.
And it's Willie, the guy that wrote that note we read.
again? Hello?
Uh-oh.
Just the jitters, I guess.
Too careful. Jordan, that you?
Something there.
Uh-oh, he saw me.
Coward, face me like a man.
Okay.
Just because I've been here. Sorry. Who's there? Oh.
Quite a few overlapping patrol routes. This can make the mission trickier. Or at times. Okay. I'm staying in the library tonight. I do not want to be disturbed unless it's very important. Barker. Barker's the caretaker, I believe, of the mansion. He's the guy whose notes we're supposed to find and read. Another full moon, and I'm still at the beginning. On my way here, I ran into Ethan. He looked quite troubled, as if he'd seen a ghost. I'm worried that I may know who the ghost is. I'm going to spend the night in the library. I've not given up my search yet. Bunch of moss arrows in that basket for some reason. I don't remember if any patrols come into this, into these rooms around here. Just in case, I'll just drop all the people I knocked out in this little alleyway here. No such thing as being too careful. I'm not sure why I picked up those arrows. I don't believe there's any point where I actually need them. Well, maybe for spiders. I don't know. Lady Lucretia lost the spare key to her room in the chapel yesterday. If anyone finds it, please leave it inside the chapel on one of the windowsills. Lieutenant Wilson. I believe these are servant quarters.
Who's there?
Whatever, I probably forgot what I was trying to do. just help Willie work up the confidence. Just- Oh, shenanigans. Alright. There's not been a moment of peace in this house since the day of the accident. First, two of the maids suddenly vanished, then Lenny died, and now Lady Isabella is nowhere to be found. Even with all the guards present, no one seems to know what happened. It was almost impossible to find two other girls who were willing to work here. I pity these poor fools anyway. Even though we're well into spring, the old barracks are cold and cold and damp. There's also a woman among the guards. We arranged a bed for her in the storeroom. As a side note, I lost my ring while I was making the bed. I'll have to remember to tell the girl to search for it. I noticed that Nellie didn't come down for supper tonight. Maybe she wasn't feeling well. I'll have to go see her tomorrow. I also must remember to punish Lisette. She always leaves her bedroom window half open and the lights turned on when she gets changed at night. What a thing to do with all these men around. What a shameless girl. In fairness, I think, if I remember right, and in all fairness, I think he was doing it on purpose, and only for Willie. Oh, right. Those aren't locked. And inside this cabinet is nothing. Except a switch. That's the first of a bunch of secret passages and cubby holes that this estate has. Here's another one right here.
What's that I see?
Shane. Now, I believe in this area, I believe Silas, that guard with the secret compartment in the cellar, is somewhere downstairs here. It's been a while since I've played this, though. Oops.
False alarm, I guess. Put your finger up and say, I've had enough.
Cell. Oh, look, there's another secret passage, but oh, wait, no, there is a switch to open it nearby. I thought that was one you had to open from the inside. Here's another one, behind a painting. We'll get to that later.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna go from home. No more gardening. 6 happy years. I'm gonna put my finger up and say, I've had enough. That's it. That's what I'm gonna do.
There's Silas. Let's get his key. And knock him out for no reason.
Hey, over there. I hate creepy noises. Come back out here, you tacker! I'll turn you up soon.
That's funny. picking the lock made them start searching. Whatever. I was planning to go back and get Silas's swag in that compartment anyway. Hopefully by the time I'm done, and they'll have cooled off. Stuff he apparently stole from the mansion. I mean, how else would he get a hold of that swag?
Huh? What?
Yeah, let's leave that for later. It's tricky to hide there.
Didn't sound like rats this time.
What was that there? I saw something. Well, doesn't seem like anything now.
Just put her in the pantry. Okay, back to the tunnel. By now they should have cooled off.
Oh gosh, there.
Sean. Come on. Pick a better spot to hide him. Don't be lazy. Yeah, that'll do it. Sonny. There's the statue from the title screen. Oh dear. That was odd. Richard. Wasn't there already someone named Richard? Whatever. Go to that spot where somehow all the guards were put on alert by me picking the lock, which you can do in Dramid. You can pull it off, but I rarely ever see people put it in missions.
Come out and fight me! Just you wait. My God! A murder! Help!
Ugh. Trevor, Truman, Terrence.
Hello? Freeze!
Oh,
Don't move a muscle.
oh shit. Oh well. Let me see. Didn't I pick? Yeah, I did. Charlie. Now, if I remember right, I better be quiet. There's some guards inside the building. Yeah. Candlestick on the roof. Or awning. Eve. Whatever. Not sure. There's a old wine bottle there, but I can't get it. I don't remember if there's any switch to open it. Oh, there it is. This door goes to the chapel, but I don't think I can pick the lock. Like, I need a key to open it.
Hello? What's going on over there? Come back!
These guards are really sensitive.
What's that? Get those hands up or I'm gonna put you down. Got you!
Cemetery. That's original.
You'll pay for this!
Wonder if I leave them if they'll eventually give up and go back to their patrol routes. Anyway, I'm wasting a lot of time. Need to get back on track. I'm taking it slow because this mission has a lot of guards, and there's a lot of tile in the mansion. Ah, excellent. And this room is Lieutenant Wilson's office. Lieutenant Wilson, I have some very important things to tell you. Please meet me in the garden at midnight, Lady Lucretia. Lieutenant Wilson, how are the investigations coming along? More than a week has passed, and though I promised Lord Bafford to take care of the situation, I have no intention of keeping my half of my men out there much longer. It was only 2 servants, after all. I want you to be prepared to return at once if nothing arises within the week. Sheriff Truitt. I'll just put it back in there. White room key. That's Isabella's room. The fancy bedrooms in the house follow a color pattern, which fits a puzzle a puzzle later on in the mission. Lieutenant Wilson, what the hell are you doing over there? Do you play cards all day long, or are you flirting with some little skivvy? How is it possible that Lady Isabella just vanished from under your nose like that? Lord Carlisle and Lord Bafford are both furious, and my career is at stake here. I'm warning you, Wilson. If you can't find Isabella alive, I swear I will make you pay. You will go back to the slums from where you came. You'll end up polishing the boots of your own men. Sheriff Truitt. And, Truitt's the jackass he always is. It's a ghost.
Nobody knows, nobody sees. Terrible secrets, terrible secrets.
The Journal of Lieutenant C. Wilson. We've been here at Bafford's estate for 3 days now, but unfortunately there's no trace of the girls yet. I made the acquaintance of Lord and Lady Bafford. To tell the truth, I saw Lord Cedric only once for about 5 minutes. He rarely comes out of his room. Lady Isabella is a very graceful and kind woman and received us with great cordiality. I also met at Lady Isabella's sister, Lady Lucretia, and I have no words to describe her. She's the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. She used to come down into the garden what is that? What a strange typo. She comes down into the garden every day for reading, so I assigned myself the garden patrol just to see her. She talked to me. This morning I braced myself and made a comment about the book she was reading, so we started to talk of this and that. I discovered that she's not only a beautiful woman, but she's also very clever and likable, and that's enough. I better stop thinking of her. As for the rest, things aren't going so well. We searched all over the manor without finding any sign of the girls. The men are discouraged. Moreover, they're dissatisfied because of the bad condition of the barracks. I must say, I've been lucky. They gave me the room of the administrator who recently died. Oh my God. Am I going mad? Yesterday, I was going to bed when a ghost appeared at the corner of the room. He was a young man with a sad look on his face. He kept speaking about horrible secrets and that nobody knows. Since this was his room, I believe that the phantom was Lenny, the administrator. What secrets is he talking about? Is he trying to tell me something? Damn rain. I'd gotten in the habit of meeting Lady Lucretia in the garden every day to have a chat. But I haven't seen her for 3 days because of this pouring rain. Damn. The order to withdraw could arrive at any moment. I wouldn't be able to see her anymore. At last the rain stopped. I'd looked forward to the moment I would be able to meet Lady Lucretia again. But when I arrived in the garden, she barely greeted me and kept on reading her book. Oh, what a fool I was. What did I expect? It was clearly that she regrets having to treat me too familiarly. I just have to get her out of my mind, that's all. I would have liked to have been able to stay away from her, but here I am, like a perfect idiot, waiting for a word from her, being happy by just looking at her. Sometimes she's just sitting on the bench reading intently. I get so close to her that I can smell her delicate perfume. Oh my, if she were a maid, I would have no hesitation. I would approach her and, worst would get a big slap, but being what she is, I'm without hope. Today, Lady Lucretia fell down the stairs in the garden and hurt herself, so I had to take her in my arms and carry her up to my room. I was bathed in sweat and my heart was beating wildly. And it wasn't only from the strain of carrying her. I'm crazy about her. I'd go through fire and water to conquer her, but there's nothing I can do. The day after tomorrow we'll have to leave and I'll never see her again. Lady Isabella disappeared. This morning, Lady Lucretia ran into my room and told me she wasn't able to find her sister. I went up to Lady Isabella's room. The door wasn't locked, and the key was in the keyhole. I saw that the bed had not been slept in. For an instant I thought the explanation might be very simple. Maybe Lady Isabella passed the night with her husband. But when I asked Lord Cedric, he told me that he hadn't seen his wife since yesterday morning. The room seemed very tidy. Nothing was out of place. In the bathroom, the bathtub was full of water, but the floor was absolutely dry, as if Lady Isabella had changed her mind and decided not to bathe. I locked the door. I'll have to look further tomorrow. I passed the rest of the day questioning everyone, from the guards to the cook, but no one was able to tell me anything significant. 2 days have passed. There's no trace of Lady Isabella. Sheriff Truard is enraged. He sent me a letter full of threats. But what the hell would have I been able to do to prevent this from happening? We searched the entire manor without finding anything. There are guards everywhere, patrolling day and night, and they never noticed anything suspicious. I don't think a stranger got into the house to kidnap or kill the maids first, and then Lady Isabella too. Why is it that nobody heard or saw anything? I think it concerns something that both the girls and Lady Isabella trusted. But who could it be? If we exclude the old cook, Nellie, and obviously Lady Lucretia, who would remain? One of the 3 guards who were already on patrol on our arrival? The old Barker? Lord Cedric? No. Impossible. There's something sinister about this house, something evil. If only my ghost friend could make himself more clearly that I could understand, but he kept on repeating the same phrase. Horrible secrets. Horrible secrets. Wilfred deserted. Barney, his best friend, told me that the last night, while Wilfred was patrolling the cemetery, a ghost appeared from nowhere, frightening him to death. So today, while he was on guard at the front gate, Wilfred left on the sly. Well, we don't need cowards like him, and I sure wouldn't miss him, except for the fact that he took the key to the front gate away with him. I asked Barker for the spare key, but it seems that Lenny was carrying it the day he died. We discovered a hole which leads to the outside from the sewers. So I sent a man for a blacksmith, but he was out of town and couldn't be here for 3 days. Damn. I'll have to be sure to ration the provisions until we have a new key. With the gate locked, we can't get new supplies to the estate. I haven't seen Lady Lucretia for 2 days. A friend of hers arrived from town, and she's always accompanied by him. I just can't help myself from being jealous. But on the other hand, I just have to face facts. It's just a noble like him that she's destined to marry one day. She would never consider someone like me, especially in this wretched situation. She sent me a message this afternoon. She wants to meet me tonight. I just can't guess what she has to tell me, but whatever it is, I can't wait to meet her. Turn those lights off. Unfortunately, I can't. Yeah. Okay, Wilson and some of his men are out there, but we need I think I need a key to go outside. The guy in light blue over there, that's Wilson. I noticed his first initial is C, possibly a reference to the famed musician Charlie Wilson from the Gap Band. Okay, now this is that room where that maid lost her ring. Let's see. Oh, there it is. All right. Moving on. I believe that locked door was for the library, but I need a key for that. Alright, we've got over 1,000 loot. Only 7,000 to go. Okay then, 1,600. That needs a key too. Well, that can wait until later. Oh, I missed all this loot over here. Put out these torches because there are some of those guys with big helmets.
Strange
I can't knock
noises.
them out. I don't think there are any gas arrows in this mission either. So, gotta be careful.
Meet up later. Taking a break.
Just because
Ah.
I've been here on a few months.
Okay.
Just get away with pushing me around. Shut up, silly thing. Something I could do with it, sir.
And that guy has a purse. Just jump over and dart over and grab that.
No will.
Now over there is the chapel. But I believe the other helmeted guard has a purse too. No, he doesn't. Good. I didn't want to do the same thing twice. Now there are a few.
I hate creepy noises.
Halt! Is someone there? I'll find you. I'll find you.
Okay. I don't remember.
I'll
turn you up soon enough.
Need a key for that.
Not as if...
Okay. Moving. Need a key for that. There are a lot of keys in this mission. Oh. So, might as well stop goofing off and go. Someone was just here. Oh boy. Escape while you can. Oh right, this is Cedric's room.
What's over there? Probably just the sir checking up on me.
Okay, this is the white room. The ambient is a bit faint. I'll turn it up. Okay, that's better. And we're gonna read her journal. Just a second. Alright, sorry about that, I'm back. Had to deal with something. Anyway, Isabella's diary. My diary. Isabella. I'm happy, happy, happy. There are no words to describe how happy I am. Cedric and I got married yesterday, and we left immediately after the wedding ceremony. For this, which will be our house. This morning I woke up in his arms and we started our life together. So I thought to begin writing this diary, so that the memory of the happiness of these days may help us get over every trouble and sorrow the future will have in store for us. Today Cedric and I went all around the house and ran after one another like children. I loved this house since the first time I saw it. It's a little far from town, but that doesn't matter. I don't care about shopping, parties, and social life. All I want is to stay by my beloved husband and raise our children. This house belonged to Cedric's great-grandfather, Lord Duncan. After the death of his first wife, Lady Rowena, he moved We moved to town, so the house has been uninhabited for almost a century. It sure needs to be repaired. We want to have all the comforts, but we don't want it to lose its romance. It looks just a little gloomy, but it won't be like that anymore when our children will fill it with their voices and their games. There are 2 master bedrooms here, but I have no intention of sleeping in separate beds. We have no intention of sleeping in separate beds, so we'll take the one that was Lord Duncan's room. It has light colors, and it's the brighter one. Perhaps that's the reason it's called the White Room. Very curious. There's also a red room, a blue room, and a yellow one. Noblesse's eccentricity. And then there is Rowena's room. I don't know why, but entering there makes me shiver. She smiles at me from her portrait, as if she wanted to tell me something, but these are only fantasies, of course. Today we hired 2 girls as maids. We don't need other servants. At our arrival, we found a caretaker, a cook, and 3 guards who had lived here for several years. We'll keep them with us. Barker, the old caretaker, is a strange man. He seems quite displeased at our presence. I just can't guess the reason of this. Besides these people, we have Lenny as an administrator. Lenny is more a friend than an employee. He and Cedric grew up together. We assigned him a room on the ground floor. I also took Nellie with me. She was my nurse and raised me after my mother's death. I gave her the yellow room. Even if she's too old for breastfeeding, she'll be a good nurse for my children. Yesterday, I found an old cradle and put it in Nellie's room. I hope that will be a good omen. Today I told the cook about Barker's strange attitude, and she says it's because of Rowena's curse. They say that Lady Rowena and her lover were caught by Lord Duncan, who had them thrown into the Well of Despair, someplace beneath the house. This was a deep pit in which the condemned were left to die slowly of starvation and thirst, while their tormentor could watch their agony from above. How horrible! How could anyone be so cruel? Nobody deserves to die that way, whatever his blame. Before dying, Rowena cast a curse on Lord Duncan and all his issue. She swore that she would be back to avenge herself, and it was rumored that someone had seen her wandering about the house. What a terrible story, if it were true, but most likely it's only a legend. Among other things, I went around the house and never saw anything like the Well of Despair. How can people still believe in this stupid superstition nowadays? I haven't had much time to write my diary lately. There's just been so much to do. A team of workers has been here for over 2 months, but most of the repairs are done. We have electric lights in almost the whole house and warm water in all the bathrooms. There are still several things to do, but first of all, we have to think about that statue. It's a huge statue in the middle of the garden, and I don't know what it represents. Maybe a demon or a pagan idol? Surely it's a horrible monster. I'm sorry to have to disfigure the garden, but I don't want my children terrified by that thing. I myself just can't look at it. Cedric agrees with me. Tomorrow the workers will blow up the statue with some explosive charges. We'll plant a big tree in that place. Now, this isn't the statue of Cthulhu that we saw earlier. This is some distance away from that in the garden. We'll have to go there to where the statue once was. It's been destroyed by the time of the mission. What a dreadful accident. Yesterday, when the workers exploded the charges, a huge chasm opened under their feet, and 4 of them fell into what seemed an endless black hole. We heard their desperate shouts for a little while, then nothing more. The men tried to drop some ropes. Cedric himself insisted on going down there, at least to recover the bodies, but none of the ropes was long enough to reach the bottom of that abyss. Even the torches that they threw got extinguished before touching the ground. There was nothing we could do but resign ourselves. Why? How will we find the heart to tell the families of those poor men what has happened? Since the day of the accident, Cedric kept saying that he wanted to return to the place. He said that day, while he was hanging on a rope, he caught a glimpse of a corridor among the rocks. Yesterday, he convinced Lenny to go down there with him to explore. When they returned, Cedric was as excited as a child with his new toy. He said he was right. What he had seen was not a natural cavity, but the work of men, a corridor dug into the rock. They'll return to explore tomorrow with better equipment and more torches. When they came back from the second expedition, Cedric was in 7th heaven. We've discovered the remains of an ancient civilization down there, he exclaimed. He told me that after a long walk in the narrow hallway, they came to a great hall with a strange fresco on its walls. At the end of the hall, they saw a huge bronze gate and a safety lock on the wall to the side. By now, it's clear that the statue hid a secret passage in times past. They used to reach that underground place. Therefore, the key must be somewhere in the house. We have to search for it. In any case, they'll go back down tomorrow to pick up some ancient jars they found. I'm really worried about Cedric. That place is so dangerous. But I'll say nothing. I know he's very fond of archaeology and seems to be happy. It's been continuous coming and going from the caverns during the last week, but all in great secrecy. Cedric says that apart from Lenny and me, no one has to know what they're doing until he's discovered what's beyond the mysterious gate. Until now, whatever key they tried didn't fit the lock. If all their trials fail, Cedric said he will use some explosive. I hardly ever see Cedric lately. He passes most of his time between the caverns and the library. He hopes to find some information about the old inhabitants of the house and about the missing key. The explosives didn't work, after all. The gate seems to be stronger than expected, and a bigger quantity could permanently damage the lock. I'm beginning to feel lonely. Tomorrow I'll send a letter to my sister Lucretia, asking her to come and stay with me for a while. Lucretia has arrived yesterday. At least I have someone to talk to. Cedric is away more and more. He doesn't tell me about his research anymore. Lenny too seems to avoid me, as if he was afraid to have to answer my questions. In the meanwhile, the work has stopped. Cedric has dismissed all the workers. He said he was sick of all the curious people hanging around. Well, it's a peculiar period, I presume. It won't last forever. Today, Cedric announced his intention to move to Rowena's room. The pretext is that he doesn't want to disturb me anymore when he comes to bed late at night. I assented and feigned not to give the matter importance, but I felt like I was dying. I cried all night. What's happening to Cedric? If I didn't know it was impossible, I would swear that he has another woman. One of the maids has gone without telling us. Strange. I thought she was happy with us. I'll have to tell the cook to look for another girl. Lenny is dead. I still can't believe it. Cedric told us that he and Lenny were going to descend into the caverns as usual, when suddenly a spider had come out from somewhere. Lenny got frightened and lost his balance and fell into the chasm. From the day of the first accident, everything has gone wrong. Why? Why are we persecuted by this misfortune? A sheriff's guard has come today to drop a report on Lenny's death. There's not much to say or do. Unfortunately, once more, as with the workers, we couldn't recover the body. We also had a visit from the parents of the vanished maid. They don't believe at all that she left of her own free will. She was a very affectionate daughter, they said, and she'd never left them without notice. I told them to apply to the sheriff, but at the same time I was assailed by a terrible suspicion. Maybe the girl had gotten near that damned hole, driven by curiosity, and had fallen down it. If that's so, we'll never know for sure. That place is too dangerous. We ought to close it somehow. The new maid has arrived. Her name is Daisy. She's a real beauty, and Fred, one of the guards, already has his eye on her. She seems to be a good girl. I hope she'll stay with us for a long time. At last, Cedric decided to close the scene of the accident. He called the workers again to make them build a tall fence around the hole. For the rest, the situation remains the same, if not worse. I don't feel as if I have a husband anymore. Nellie says I must be patient with him. Maybe she's right. Today, while I was in the garden, Barker approached me as if he had a secret to tell. Excuse me, but you should leave the house before it's too late. He said. I told him to make himself clear, so he said, I hope I can tell you more very soon. That was the limit, an old madman with his obsessions. Daisy has vanished. It just can't be an accident or an escape this time. The evening before, she had waited on her table, and the morning after, no one was able to find her. Fred is desperate. He and Daisy were already talking about marriage. Lord Bafford said that he will talk about the matter to Sheriff Truard. They're good friends, and he will surely do anything to help us. Sheriff Truard sent a group of guards headed by Lieutenant Wilson. It seems to me that we've had the house invaded by an army. They're everywhere. We've had to lodge them in the old barracks. Unfortunately, we didn't get them repaired yet, so the place is really uncomfortable. Wilson had more luck. We allowed him to take the room of poor Lenny. Wilson said that there must be a kidnapper or worse. A murderer is wandering around who can somehow slip into the house. He ordered his men to search the entire house for a hidden passage from the outside, and Then he said the guards will patrol around the house day and night. Obviously, this does not apply to our rooms, so we'll maintain our privacy. Today, Barker approached me again. Lady Isabella, have you noticed that both girls disappeared in a full moon night? No, of course I didn't notice it. What does he mean? Does he think the girls have been killed by a werewolf? What nonsense. I noticed that he passes most of his time in the library, as Cedric used to do. I wonder what he's searching for. And Cedric, I never see him. He never comes out of that damned room. He doesn't even join us for meals. The maid has orders to leave the tray outside the door. He won't let her in. Sometimes I think I'd like to take heart and speak to him, but I don't feel like it. There's no more confidence between us. I'm almost sure to be pregnant. If it happened only 3 months ago, it would have been beside myself with joy, but now I had to tell Cedric, however. So this morning I went to knock at his door. When at last he decided to open, he didn't let me in, but he came out, closing the door behind his back. He seemed very annoyed. You should know I don't want to be disturbed, he said. I looked at him. Where had the kind and cheerful man I'd fallen in love with gone? The one who stood in front of me was another man, a stranger, someone I didn't love anymore. So in that moment I made my decision. I didn't tell him about the baby. I want to go away for a while, I said. Tomorrow I'll write to my father to inform him of my arrival. I'm sure you'll understand. He seemed disconcerted for a moment, but all he said was, if that is what you want. Then he turned his back and returned to his room. I'm more resolute than ever now. I will go away. In the afternoon, Barker approached me for the umpteenth time. I found it. All this has already happened. I have to show you something which could explain. Meet me tonight in the sacristy. I accepted the invitation. I'm very curious. I took to the key to the chapel, and tonight I will meet him. What on earth could he have to show me? And we also got a key to the chapel. All right. Then. Now. Oops. Okay. I thought I was stuck for a second. That switch opens a secret passage. There's one like it in all of the other colored bedrooms. That fits in... well, yeah, I'll call it a puzzle. Anyway, each of these rooms... I always have trouble with that ladder. Oh. Sorry about that. No. Damn it. Ugh. Great. Hope nobody heard that. I think this goes to the yellow room where Nellie, one of Lady Isabella's retainers, her former nurse, is staying. Yes, it is.
What the? I wonder what happened here.
And she's dead. Lord Carlyle, I'm asking for your help because I can't trust anyone in this house. I didn't have the courage to bring forth my suspicions before, but now that my beloved Isabella has vanished, I can't keep them to myself anymore. The night that Daisy disappeared, I saw her entering. This leads to another corridor with a locked door, so no use going down there right now. Now I believe this room goes to the room of a noble that's trying to court Lady Lucretia. I forget his name. Percival, maybe? Oops.
Who made that noise?
Who's there?
Don't slouch about in the shadows.
Oh yeah, I was right. Percival. I will ask for Lady Lucretia's hand in marriage tomorrow. I wonder if she's aware of the great honor it will be for her to become part of our noble and ancient family. I will also have to suggest to her not to wear her showy dresses when she comes to meet my mother. He certainly has a high opinion of himself. Another switch that opens another door that we can't get through yet. Some fancy paintings. Lady Rowena, her portrait has been removed. It's actually in her room, but it's locked and we can't get to it. Lord Duncan. Grandmother. Okay. Not much to see over there. I think there's an archer on the balcony. I can't quite remember. But I don't think he has anything, if he is there. I need a key. This mission has a lot of keys. I already said that. So let's follow the lead from Isabella's diary and see if the sacristy has anything interesting. Adrian. Paul. Paul Denton and Adrian Shepard. No. Stupid gamer inside jokes.
We can do.
Nope. We're not gonna do it anyway. He was about to say we can do this the easy way or the hard way. Or we can do it my way. Kurt is his name. Oh yeah, I think these are the guys that I alerted earlier. They did go back to their original positions. Luckily for clumsy me. Fernando. Oh, like Don Fernando from Destinos. What's great about references like this is that nobody will understand them.
Quiet.
Catch that? Come out! In the name of Sheriff Corbin Truitt.
Xavier. Orlando. Now this actually goes to the Well of Despair. We'll be visiting it, but we have to complete the mission. I'm gonna move these guys out of the way because we're gonna have to actually blow up that section of the wall. Some loot hidden behind this old tapestry. We're in the dungeon. A ring. They threw Jervis into the Well of Despair. His moaning is keeping me awake. The poor boy. I hope he dies soon. I'll die too if they torture me again. I'll beg the guard for mercy tomorrow. I'll offer him the little ring I've been hiding. That is, if I survive until tomorrow. And apparently he didn't. We've been living in terror since Lord Duncan became master of this house. Yesterday I was sentenced to 3 days of imprisonment and 30 lashes because I stared at him too long. Now they're torturing Caleb to make him confess to stealing a little bag of flour. May God protect us. No.
A murder! We have a murderer!
Oh, for goodness sake. It doesn't matter.
Take him! I'll turn you up sooner or later.
I think we've got a code 12. I saw some evidence.
Yeah, unfortunately I can't. This is the first time I think I've ever played this mission and those helmeted guards got alerted.
Oh my
Something's
god!
up. Things
A
aren't right.
murder!
Oh boy, this could be a problem.
Did I tell you?
One peep out of you and that's it. I'll
turn
find
you
you
up
soon
sooner or
enough.
later.
I don't usually like using...
What this is your last.
Who could do this
Just
to a
use
person?
that to get them to run away and hope they don't see me. I'm running for it.
Cover me!
Okay, I'm gonna lock that door so I don't have to drag this out anymore. Alright, we're in the chapel, finally. And there's the key that Wilson wanted returned. It goes to Lady Lucrethia's room, the red room. Let's go. Just sit here and meditate for a minute. Or no, get on with it. The things. That's not the one. right, I'm on the wrong floor. Oops. I have nothing against you, Garrett, but I'll kill you if you force me to do it.
Who are you?
No need for alarm, lady. Just passing through.
Here's the key to the garden. Yeah, this isn't loot. They're just props.
You can't hide forever. You gonna come quietly, or you're gonna get hurt.
Great. Okay. Sorry about that. This got really sloppy. Anyhow, drop the heaven here. "28 young men bathe by the shore. 28 young men and also friendly. 28 years of womanly life and also lonesome. She owns the fine house by the rise of the bank. She hides handsome and richly dressed aft the blinds of the window. Which of the young men does she like the best? Ah, the homeliest of them all is beautiful to her. Where are you off to, lady? For I see you. You splash in the water there, yet you stay stock still in your room. Dancing and laughing along the beach came the 29th bather. The rest did not see her, but she saw them and loved them. The beards of the young men and glistened with wet. It ran from their long hair. Little streams passed over their bodies. An unseen hand also passed over their bodies. It descended tremblingly from their temples and ribs. The young men floated on their backs, their white bellies is bulged to the sun. They do not ask who seizes fast to them. They do not know who puffs and declines with pendant and bending arch. They do not think whom they souse with spray. Or is it souse? Whatever. Another secret passage. My diary, Lucretia. How boring. I really regret accepting Isabella's invitation to come here. I just can't understand that sister of mine. How could she possibly enjoy this style of life? There's nothing to do here apart from taking long walks in the woods and some needlework. I don't enjoy either of those activities. The only thing left is to read. It's a good thing the library is kept very well. There are hundreds of books and some of them are quite rare. Whenever I'm not keeping her company, I go to the library to read. I'm stuck here. I'm still stuck here. I couldn't summon the courage to tell Isabella that I want to return home. She looks very depressed. Cedric's neglecting her more and more because of his research. He spends almost all of his time in the library. He also seemed bothered by my presence, so I started reading in the garden instead. Cedric informed us of Lenny's death today. He was very upset when he delivered the news. They were best friends, but it seems they haven't been getting along well too lately. Nonetheless, Lenny was a good guy, and he'll be missed. Just a second. Sheriff Truart has sent a lot of guards here due to the disappearance of two of the maids. It's a little annoying having these guards around, but at least things are a little more exciting here now. When I'm in the garden, it's always full of guards. can't read with all the noise, but it doesn't bother me too much. I find it quite interesting to listen to their conversations. They talk about a wide variety of things, a world that I've never known, the world of the common people. I had a long conversation with Lieutenant Wilson today. We were talking about the book I was reading, and he talked to me about his life. He talked about his humble origin, how it had been hard to enjoy a peaceful life working for Truett. To tell the truth, I thought he was a cadet's son of a noble family, but because even though he seemed to have a rude aspect about him, he seemed very learned. I had to comfort Isabella this afternoon. She told me about Cedric's cold and distant behavior towards her with tears in her eyes. Men, they're all like this. Their work, their business, their interests all take priority over everything else in their life. Meanwhile, women cherish love above everything else. We're bound to suffer like this. I met Wilson again this morning. Our daily conversations in the garden lasted about a week. He informed me that the investigation had not yet yielded any results. If nothing happens, they'll leave the mansion next week. It's been raining for more than 3 days now. I couldn't go outside to the garden. I can always read in my room or the library, but it's hard for me to admit this. But I really miss Wilson's company, our conversations, and I'll write more later. I often saw Wilson during the last days, but I since realized he was becoming too important to me, I'm strangely worded. I often saw Wilson during these days, but since I realized that he was becoming too important for me, I preferred to avoid talking to him. In spite of that, why do I go down to the garden every day as if you don't want to see him? I just pretend to read. I look at him when he's not paying attention. I like his voice and his figure, the way he moves. I like everything about him. He's quite different from the other fools I used to swoon over. Alas, there will not be a happy ending. He'll be called back soon and I'll have to go as well. He'll no longer be part of my life. I'll have to forget him. Today I discovered a secret passage in my dressing room, which leads down to the garden. This is quite amusing. Now I can go to the garden without being seen. There's also another door in the passage, but it's locked. I wonder what lies beyond that door. This morning I tumbled down the stairs of the garden like a drunken fool. I was in so much pain I could barely walk. Wilson was there, and he carried me back to my room in his arms. I felt so stupid and embarrassed. I never wanted that to happen. I do feel better now, but I just can't stop thinking of him. I can still feel his strong arms around me. I've never wanted to be with someone so badly. I'm angry with myself for having these feelings, but at the same time, there's not much I can do about them. What can I do? Isabella has vanished. This morning she was in her room and nobody could find her. What could have happened? Maybe someone kidnapped her. But that's not possible. This house is full of guards. Our father was informed immediately. He sent a message telling me to return home. He's worried about my safety too. I replied that I would prefer to remain here to find out what could have happened to my sister. But there are also other reasons I wanted to stay here. Isabella is still missing. What a distressing situation. We're losing hope. Wilson is trying hard not to show it, but I think he's getting desperate. All of the blame has fallen on him. Maybe I'm crazy, but because of this tragedy, just now that he's blamed, I've realized how much I love him. This morning, Percival, the son of Lord Gervasius, came from town to see me. He obviously didn't know what's happening here. He's been courting me for over a year, but I don't like him at all. He's the most foolish and presumptuous man I've ever known. In the afternoon, and we realized we were almost prisoners in the manor because an idiotic soldier left with the front gate key. Now Percival can't leave. He has to be our guest for now, and I have to endure his company. I had to spend the whole day with Percival yesterday. What a pain. How I loathe his conceited chattering and snobbish manners. I couldn't stand it anymore, so I pretended to have a headache this morning and retired to my room. I haven't been able to see Wilson these last 2 days. I can't help but think of him. I don't care about the consequences anymore. Whatever happens, happens. Perhaps he doesn't feel the same way about me, but I know that he would never make the first move because of my social status. I have to encourage him somehow. I'll send him a note asking for him to meet me in the garden tonight. I'll tell him I have discovered a secret passage in my room and that I hear strange noises coming from behind the walls. I will tell him that I'm too frightened to sleep alone on a full moon. I'll ask him if he wishes to sleep on my couch for the night. Maybe he'll understand. I'm hoping something will happen. Oh, how I wish I could wake up in his arms tomorrow morning. And as it happens, the garden is where we need to go next. Okay. We're in, have some decent darkness going, so you just sneak into the... Okay. Now, you might have guessed it already, but I'm going to do with Wilson and Lucretia what I did to Lisette and Willie.
I know you're around.
This is part of a... Oh, great.
Come back here.
Anyway, I'm going to do that same gimmick I did it with Willie and Lisette, but this time I'm going to bring Wilson and Lucretia into the same bed together. And this, actually, he nets a reward.
Stop tapping with me. I mean it. All right. Stop fooling around. Where are you?
Oh boy. Come on. Let's hurry this up, guy. Okay. Dumb taffers.
Someone make...
I'll find you. Just you wait.
Oh boy, here he comes. Okay. Alright, we have Wilson. Let's go back to the red room and get the secret. Oh yeah. We want this love story to have a happy ending, don't we? Don't kill Lieutenant Wilson. Kind of a point. An unnecessary distinguishment since we can't kill humans anyway, nor do we have a reason to. You are quite romantic, aren't you? There's a little reward for you. Holy water and some water arrows. Now, besides that, there's another reason we wanted to go to the garden. We're going to investigate that hole, well, that was blown up, that used to have a creepy statue on it. Warning, danger. Do not enter without permission. Now it's been a pretty slow start, but I'd say this is where the mission starts picking up speed.
Better watch my step around here.
You can see the cloud of flies down there. That's poor Lenny's body. Okay, we jump to this ledge here. And we won't be able to use that again, because a trap was set off. gate of hell. Do not enter unless you have the holy sword. We can't open it. It needs a key, but why do we need a key to open the gate of hell? Well, it isn't actually hell, but you'll see the explanation later. Okay. Now, this leads to a bit of a puzzle. Oh, but it also has treasure in it. Now, there's a warning here. At least the game is fair, gives you a fair warning. Thou who art wise shalt choose the solid rock. Thou who is brimming with greed shall be buried among thine treasures. So, we want the one that has the rock, because we can use that rock to weigh down this pressure plate. That was a little close, but okay. Okay, now, 4 of the passages are open. Stone in front and stone behind, a lingering death that you will find. That's what you get if you go into the wrong, if you aren't fast enough with the rock. And you get the same message here if you go for all of this glittering treasure. Of course, since we weighed down the pressure plate, we can get all of the goods. Not sure what that switch did. Oh, right. These 2 switches open that last passage. And here is the legendary Holy Sword. That inscription besides the gate warns us we need. Now, to get that sword, we need 4 elemental keys. It would seem that the Holy Sword was placed here by our buddies, the Keepers, if these statues are any indication. Now, why would this be placed here? We'll find out. I'm gonna say it again. We don't have any of the keys, so let's go back out from this passage. Now, where could this passage be leading? Up the ladder and into another passage. And then finally, we're in the black room, Rowena's room. I didn't miss the candlestick again. It's just a prop. It doesn't actually count towards just the loot goal. There's a creepy picture of Rowena, Duncan's dead wife. We got the key to the library. Bunch of potions. I didn't think there was anything behind there, and there wasn't. But it's thief, and I wouldn't be a good thief if I wasn't checking everything. If you came up to this point, I suppose that you won't give up. Do you really want to face me? Well, I'll accept the challenge. I like challenges. I may even help you, Garrett. Discover my fate, and you will find my key. R. It shouldn't be any question who it is. But, how she's getting these messages to us when she's supposed to be dead, well, we'll see. Okay. Now, first of all, well, first of all, we want to go down to the library. Which, if I remember right, there are at least 2 guards plus Barker. He's in pretty good darkness, so we'll leave it there. Him there. Okay. Oh crap. Shit. Sorry. I didn't want him to die on me. So there's this book switch, and it opens this panel. And there's a note for us. To the one who finds this hiding place, this key opens the gate to hell. Unless you have also found the holy sword, don't use it. Do not awaken the sleeper, nor take the seal from her breast, or she will enchant you with her words, and you will be unable to kill her. Alistair. That was Barker. Factors to be taken into account. Our life was quiet before the arrival of Lord Bafford and his lady. The situation was still quiet before the accident. Lord Cedric and Lenny started exploring underground below the area with the accident. A maid disappears. Lenny dies. A second maid disappears. Both girls disappeared during a full moon. What's the connection between these factors? I'm afraid I already know. It must be something to do with Rowena's curse. Lord Cedric and Lenny must have found something terrible down there. I tried telling Lady Isabella about it, but she didn't believe me. I must help her. I have a feeling she will be the next victim. I found the old book of Alistair in the sacristy. Everything makes sense now. Everything has come together. I must show the book to Lady Isabella. I must convince her to leave this house at once. Lady Isabella notified me that she agreed to meet. I'll meet her tonight in the sacristy. I waited all night, but Lady Isabella never came. It was only in the morning that I found out about her disappearance. I hope that she is still alive, but I'm almost certain that she is, but there's not much time left. I have finally found the hidden location of the key of Alistair, here in the library, but the key is missing. Only one person could have taken it. What can I do now? There is no time left. I need to go down there and try and save Lady Isabella, but how? I can't pass through Rowena's room, which is always locked, and the area of the accident is locked as well. Even though I have the key, to venture down there without the holy sword would be suicidal. The holy sword. It could be hidden anywhere. This house is full of secret passages and hidden nooks. This room, for instance, is smaller than it's supposed to be, and... oh my. I have sat at this desk so many times, and I have failed to notice that button just... and then we knocked him out. Yeah, right above this lamp is a button. Yeah, that's right. Keep expecting to need a key for everything. Now remember that note from R or Rowena saying that to proceed, we need to find out her fate, and it's here in this book. Lord Duncan's diary. A witch. I married a damned witch. I've not been feeling well since the day I married her. I suspect she's trying to poison me. She must hate me because her father forced her to marry me. It was either that or spend the rest of her life trapped in a convent. I also think she resents the fact that I took possession of this house which belonged to her mother. She used to consider this place her own. Everyone in this house seems to love her instead, including all of the soldiers and servants. If they only knew her true nature. Behind her beautiful face lies an evil heart. It's rumored that her mother was a real witch. They say she performed unholy rituals in the forest when there were full moons, and that before she died, she passed her knowledge of sorcery and black magic to Rowena. This marriage is not a match made in heaven, that's for sure. I only married her for her dowry. To be honest, this marriage has saved me from disaster, but I never would have imagined I would hate her like this. Our first night together, I almost had to get her by force, almost as if she were some virgin angel. She's no angel, that's for sure. I suspect she's already shared every man's bed in this house. What excited me once or twice now begins to annoy me now. I don't want to touch her anymore, but if I am to have an heir... Curse that blasted woman, she continues to mock me. She sneered as he told me, "You expect a baby from me, Duncan. Perhaps sooner or later I'll have one, but you'll never know if a bastard will be named after you, Lord Bafford." Damned woman. I'm sure she's being serious. I must get rid of her at all costs. Perhaps she will give me an excuse. She must have a lover, I'm almost sure of it. If only I could catch her in the act, nobody would ever oppose me if I accidentally killed her in a fit of rage. My luck seems to finally be shaping up. I told Rowena I was leaving town, but instead, I just hid for a while and then came back. I knew I would catch that dirty bitch and her lover in bed. What a piece of work. It was Jervis, the gamekeeper. If he were of noble blood, I would have fought him in a duel to the death. Instead, I shouted and called all the guards and servants so that they could come witness her adultery. I acted as if I were blinded with rage. The two lovers were dragged down to the dungeon, and I ordered the guards to throw Jervis into the well. I then dropped Rowena down the well with a rope. I didn't want her to die too quickly. I wanted her to suffer as much as possible. That blasted woman has caused me so many problems. I was finally free. 3 days have passed since I caught Rowena with Jervis. He seems to be dead now. I threw some candles down into the well, as well as a torch to light them. I was sure she would be able to remain in the dark, and that she would eventually light them. It took her a while, but she lit them, and now I'm enjoying the show more than ever. I thought she would cry out and beg me to have pity on her, but she stayed silent the whole time, just sitting there on the cold floor. The only thing she said when I put her down in the well was, "You will not escape my wrath. My hatred will survive and consume you all." Oh, the drama. I'm not afraid of her idle threats. Soon she'll be dead, and this nightmare will be over once and for all. Unbelievable. It's been 5 days, and she's still alive. This is starting to bore me. I'm getting tired of watching her do nothing all day long. Besides that, the putrid stench of Jervis's rotting corpse is becoming unbearable. Enough. I've decided to leave this place for good. I'm moving to town tomorrow. The well room is now locked, but I fear that someone will have pity on Rowena and find a way to get her out of the well. I cemented over the door just to be safe. It would take some powerful explosives to break through. If anyone did get through, however, they would have a nice surprise waiting for them. First thing I'll do upon my return is take her portrait off the entrance. I never want to see that horrible face again. I just want to forget her. Pretend like we never married. Pretend like she never existed. What I need now is to find a more suitable woman. As soon as I reach town, I'll pay a visit to Lord Thorburn. See what his young daughter is up to. So we found out Rowena's fate. We found out Rowena's fate. That discolored section of the wall in the dungeon has the well. Oh, that hole. That well is behind that bricked off segment of wall in the dungeon that I pointed out before. But we need explosives. So let's go find some.
Didn't sound like rats this time.
Come on already. Turn around, you stupid taffer. Oh.
Stop right there!
Oh, great. Okay. He's down. Bruno. My name's Bruno. Anyway. Another stupid joke. Let's, no, not that. Okay. That, let me see. I'm trying to remember where the explosives are. There's only one barrel of explosives, and it's locked away in the guards area. If you blow it up prematurely for who knows what reason, you pretty much made the mission unwinnable. I guess it was the other direction. Creepy cemetery, but we need a key for that too. This shed has the explosives we need. You only get one fire arrow and one barrel. You really only have one shot at this. Luckily, what you're supposed to blow up is so obvious, is that that it's very hard to screw it up. Oh, I forgot. Did I? Yeah, I forgot something. In that room upstairs. I think. Just push it up against there. And that takes care of the wall. Yeah. Oh crap. I knew knew that would set them off. That's honestly why I didn't try to sneak through very much through this level.
Sure as I'm standing here.
Go back to the library. I really think I missed something there. Wait. Ah, there we go. Yeah, I did miss something. Alright, it's a good thing I came back here. Because that had the key to the well. Alright, back to the basement or dungeon yet again. Let's open that room with the well. Get right up to it and remember that surprise that Duncan said he left for anyone who stumbled upon? Yeah. Now we're trapped in here. We need to find a way out. But we don't have many options, so let's go down into the well. Now, I think you're required to take that this fall... Oh, it doesn't damage. I remembered wrong. There's Jervis's corpse. Let's get his key. Or Rowena's key, excuse me. Some lights here so we can see what we're doing. And it's the symbol of the trickster. Which, by the way, was the statue that Cedric and Isabella had destroyed that opened that hole to those underground passages. Damn it all. Duncan threw us in this cursed well. And now we're sitting here waiting to die alongside the remains of those who died before us. Jervis is lying beside me, his legs broken. His muttering is becoming more and more faint. Why must I die this way? Why am I to blame? What am I? A rapist? A thief? A ferocious murderer? No, I never hurt anyone in my whole life. My own fault was being unfaithful to a husband who hated me, and I only wish to find happiness in the arms of another man. Curse you, Father, for having obliged me to marry this man. Curse you, Duncan, for making me suffer like this. Curse the woman who will ever be able to love you. Curse all your descendants, but I will not die. My hatred will keep me alive. Jervis died in my arms 3 days ago. The poor man. I don't know if I really loved him, but he was a tender and passionate lover. I had to move away from his whole corpse. The smell had become unbearable. I think I may have lost my key around there, but it doesn't matter anymore. I will not need it anymore. I'm not going anywhere. I'm feeling much weaker. I can hardly stand. How many days have passed since then? Duncan is no longer coming to watch me. The candles he used to drop me up, down in here are almost extinguished, and then darkness. Death. I don't want to die. I know all the secrets of this house, but there is no way I could get out of this well. If only I could fly. was a way. Maybe. I think I remember something. My mother showed me the way before dying. My soul will be damned, but I will survive. All I need are 3 candles, and something to draw the magic symbol. Prince of Darkness, Lord of the Damned, I invoke you. Make me survive. Give me the eternal life you promised to your followers, and I will be your faithful servant for all eternity. Let me have my revenge on my enemies. I will drink their blood. I will devour their hearts, and I will give you their souls. My Lord, make this spell successful. Build me a stairway of light to get out of this well of darkness. Acta bellini quertos celenda. And reading that activated her spell, which gets us out of the well. Alright. We can't open that door, but this part of the wall is lowered. Let's try Rowena's key, and it works. And we're in the priest quarters of the chapel. In this book, I'm about to report on the events which happened inside Lord Bafford's manor in the year of the Builder 937. Strange things were happening at the time. About a dozen girls had mysteriously disappeared. People were frightened. It was rumored a werewolf was wandering about the woods, which surrounded Bafford's estate. Suddenly one night, Lord Bafford came to see me in great secrecy. I didn't know he was back. He had moved to town more than a year before, and there he got married for the 2nd time. They said it was just like him to get his first wife killed because of her treachery. That night, however, he looked like a poor man struck with terror. "Rowena's alive. Still alive. She took my wife, and she's going to kill her," he said. "It's not a ghost that I've seen. It was Rowena in the flesh. She is back to revenge herself. She dragged my wife away, and I could do nothing to stop her. She seems endowed with strange powers. She said she will kill my wife tomorrow night. I implore you to help me. Maybe you can help. You can stop her with your magic." It was difficult to believe him, but I had to verify personally, so the next night, I went to Lord Bafford's mansion. As soon as I arrived, he took me to the garden. There was a huge statue of the trickster in the middle of it, and Lord Bafford had discovered a secret passage which opened at its base. We advanced into dark corridors, in what then seemed a descent to hell. As we arrived in an open space, we saw a terrifying being come toward us with a menacing look. I tried to hit him with a magic bolt, but his only answer was devilish laughter, which made our blood run cold. Immediately afterward, we were surrounded by a group of demons, and we could hardly avoid their fury by taking shelter in a narrow tunnel nearby. Shuddering with fear, we went right down the tunnel, and at its exit, we were standing on a sort of a footbridge, which ran all around of a great hall. Below us, just in the center of the hall, was an altar, and Lord Bafford's wife was laying on it. She was still alive, and she was not tied up. She just lay there, as if her eyes were wide open, as if a spell was preventing her from moving. The scene was lit by the light of torches set all around, and by the light of the moon, which poured in through a large hole above the altar. Rowena was there, standing in front of the altar, with a dagger in her hand. All of a sudden, Rowena raised the dagger and thrust it into the breast of the woman, extracting her still palpating heart, and then, I just can't tell it. I still have it in my eyes, the horror of what I have seen. Many hours passed after Rowena was gone, before we took enough courage to leave our hideout. To our great surprise, we saw the demons had fallen asleep on the floor, and so, when we found Rowena, she was asleep too, in a little room next to the sacrificial hall. I told Lord Bafford that it was the right moment to kill her, but he said that it was impossible. She seemed to have become invulnerable. Next time, it will be my turn, he said. And then she will kill my son. I beg you to help me. There must be a way to stop her. As soon as I returned home, I went to the library. I remembered there was a treatise by Brother Homer about the undead. I searched for some information. And this is what I found. These creatures are similar to the undead, but it would be incorrect to call them zombies because in fact they have never died. Generally, they are people who consecrated themselves to the evil one in order to escape. It has been reported of warriors surrounded by enemies and near to defeat, prisoners condemned to death who refused to accept their fate and came to that evil agreement. They are immortal, but to preserve their appearance, they have to sacrifice young victims every full moon night in order to eat their hearts and drink their blood. They live surrounded by demons, generated by their own minds who protect them. They seem to be invulnerable, but because of their unholy nature, a holy sword could damage or even kill them. So that was what Rowena had become. How could I defeat her? I have no idea where I could find such a holy sword, and there was no time to make a search, however. Suddenly, into my head came the idea to use the seal of the sleeper. If we could put it on her breast while she was asleep, her sleep would become as deep as death itself. There was no time to waste, so the day after I returned to Lord Bafford. The day before, during our escape, we discovered a secret passage which led straight into Rowena's room. We had to wait until she had fallen asleep. Then I went to her and put the seal on her breast. After that, we had to transport her into the underground caverns. If I was right, the demons would be asleep too, and so it was. We left Rowena in that little room where we had seen her the day before. Thanks to the builder, we finally got rid of that evil being. She would sleep forever, unless someone removes the seal from her breast. To be safe, at my suggestion, Lord Bafford closed the entire area with a huge gate. I myself put the key of the gate in a hiding place in the library. Together with an admonition for the one who will find it, I hope at that time someone will have found the holy sword to definitively eliminate Rowena, Alistair, High Priest of the local Hammer Temple. And we have a new objective. Rowena has transformed into a demon. Find the holy sword and kill her. Oh, and take Lady Isabella out of the mansion through the front gate if she's still alive. And Rowena's key, I suppose, will unlock it. And here's some... Blue is the path of water. Yellow is the path of earth. Red is the path of fire. White is the path of air.
Better check my map.
Alright, each room has an elemental motif going on. This is Earth. Yeah, I guess so. Okay. Now that we have Rowena's key, we can unlock these doors. These metal doors that are blocking off each of these challenge areas. I guess I'll call them that. We gotta be careful because there are some frog beasts and a tree beast. We have to hit a few switches. Save here, and I'm gonna try to be... Oh god, the frog beast killed me. That was stupid of me. So, I was trying to do this without killing anything, but I guess that it's just... Oops, I still got hit, but whatever. Okay, that was embarrassing. Back up a little more. He's looking for us now. Now we're flipping three. We need to flip 3 switches in each of these alcoves to open that grate. He's not too happy to see us. That's just tough. Oh, he missed me. Just run in there. We got the earth key. Let's just run back to the passage. Challenge area of water. Bunch of creepy spiders. Just let it. Just gonna stare at him. Let him drown. Let him drown. They're all dead, and I didn't have to do a thing. Some gems here. platforms in the right position so we can get the key of water. So that I don't have to repeat the jumping puzzle to get over here. There, we got the water key. Crithia's room, which connects to the area with the challenge room of fire challenge area. Now, predictably, there are some fire elementals. I don't really have very many water arrows, and I don't want to use them up. So I'm just going to try to just pick up the fire key as fast as I can and get out. I may have to use one of those. I think the ground actually hurts me if I wait around too long. Yeah. Yeah, it does. It's a motivator, I guess, to keep the player moving. But got the key. The last one is in Isabella's room, where we have to take on the element of fire. Did I say air or fire? Air. Now that platform floating up there is the one we want to get to. But it'll take some doing to get to it. Oh. Okay, I think I'm supposed to jump on that. It's rising slowly. Oh. Have to wait for it to slowly come back around. Then jump to the center platform. And we can get out of here. Got all the keys. Now we need to head back down to that room with the people, with all those rooms. Oh, that was close. All of those moving boulders. There's that we accessed by pressing the skull. We go there. We go there and get the holy sword. Finally, we have all the keys in place. We just need to use them. Earth. Air. Fire. And water. And the sword is ours. Now let's exit this place. We have the Holy Sword, but we need Alistair's key. So, you got the Holy Sword, and now, where do you think you can go? Garrett, at this point, you know all about me. You know I wasn't able to avenge myself on Duncan. His ghost is wandering in the cemetery, but I can't enter that sacred ground. Go and destroy him with your Holy Sword. Do this for me, then return here and you will find the key of Alistair. The cemetery key is under Cedric's diary in my locker.
Fortunately, cemeteries don't spook me.
Now we got a key from Rowena's note. Just then. It's the key to that cabinet, though the key says locker. Anyway, what is this? It's a healing potion. We probably will need it later. And how much is this dreadful pact with Rowena going to cost me? I was forced to dispose of Nellie today. She was getting too suspicious. I found the old book of Alistair a few days ago, and now I know what Rowena really is. It does not matter anymore, for it is too late. I'm in her power now. Curse the day I found the key of Alistair in the library. Curse the day I took the seal of the sleeper off her breast against Linny's warning. I had no choice but to kill him, then hand Isabella over to Rowena. She will be sacrificed tonight. I only hope it will be a worthy one. Rowena promised to make me rich. She speaks of fabulous treasures hidden in mysterious caverns. Among these fabled treasures is the legendary Horn of Quintus. However, it was not the promise of riches beyond my wildest dreams that convinced me. Rowena promised to grant me eternal life like hers if I stay by her side. I'm not sure I can trust her. How long will she hold her demons at bay? They're becoming more and more aggressive. In the meantime, I feel compelled to do all the dirty work. That Barker is becoming quite troublesome. I will have to make sure to greet him when he is alone in the library. He's always wasting his time in there. What is there that he could be trying to find? There is nothing of interest there anymore.
You are a bastard.
Now about this painting of Rowena, and I'll show it off before I finish the mission. When you actually slay her, the picture takes on a different appearance, if I'm remembering right. Alright. Oh, I completely forgot the objective I just got. Let's go down the stairs and out to the cemetery. Now, let's go back. Oh. Yeah, I locked that. Alright, now that Duncan has been taken care of, she says we'll find the key of Alistair down here when we return. But of course she's being tricky again. Cedric has it on him. Fortunately, there's no trick to this fight. And he's dead. And good riddance.
Oh, yeah. He's gone.
We got Alistair's key, and we have another note from Rowena. If you are reading this, this means that Cedric has passed away. What a pity. You took from me the pleasure of killing him with my own hands. Garrett, this is my last warning. Don't go any further. You won't be able to reach me. You can't rescue Isabella. She's as good as dead. Do yourself a favor and return to where you came from, Rowena. Now, there are a bunch of monsters down there, but I'm not going to fight a single one of them if I can help it. Because there are a lot of them.
Here we go.
Now these demons, it's can be killed with the holy sword, but it takes too long, and there are so many of them. Once we get rid of Rowena, they'll all automatically die, since their life force is tied to hers. but I'm going to try to. But I'm not going in there right now. That can wait till later. I'm just gonna run past these guys. He seems to have lost interest in me for now. And this is the seal of the sleeper. Just keep that, I guess. Alright. Now.
I've seen thee. Thou must try harder than that to beat me. Let's see how thou block me not. Death awaits.
And now she's throwing spells at us.
Let's see how thou bleedest. Oh, thou must try harder than that to beat me.
The apparitions are just distractions.
Now stand in the open.
Yeah, Rowena and these apparitions she summoned all fire these giant and homing skulls.
Block me not. Death awaits thee. Let's see how thou leadest.
Yeah, just focus on Rowena. Ignore the apparitions.
Block me not. Death awaits thee.
Now, she looks more. I think she's almost dead.
Thou must try harder than that to beat me. Stop. Thou art caught. Ha! Thou art pierced. What was that?
Where is she? Ah, there she is. And she's dead. And so are all her demons. Sorry, Isabella. Okay. Do I still have that healing potion? Gotta find a way. Oh, yeah, I guess that's the way out. Yes. Go down here. And it's the two missing maids that got Truwardsman here in the first place. Pick up that key. One. Okay. Now I'll go after some of the loot. There's some zombies around, so gotta be careful. sacrificial dagger and goblet on that pedestal are just for show. There's some loot in some cubby holes on the path that led down here. And there's also some in that hole downstairs. That can be opened, but I need to find a switch or something. What's this? We get the horn and 2 gold skulls. Oh, right. I forgot. I need to find that switch. And that opens the panel. Isabella, we need to carry her all the way back through the gate to Rowena's room and out to the front gate. There are a few more things we need to grab first. Lenny's bucket. He has the key to the front gate. Quite a bit of loot. What could I have missed? There's the picture. Let's see. Maybe check the place where I got the explosives.
False alarm, I guess. Checked everywhere I can remember. I have no idea what I missed.
there's a purse on the floor. I just need a little bit more. I got 7814. What could I have forgotten? Oh, crap. I almost had it. 7914. Oh, great.
Come out here now! I'm not kidding! Don't make me come fight!
Leave it here. Then... pretty much searched everywhere. What could I have missed? I need to wrap this up. Maybe I missed something in the cemetery. This is turning into a disaster.
wind, I guess.
Explosive, handle with care. Roy, everything's ready. We placed the charges. This barrel of explosives and this fire are the only ones remaining. Don't waste them this time. I know you like to use them for fireworks like we used them last week, but we may need them in the future. Garth. That I forgot to look at. Those damn nobles. They used gold plates to eat, whose value alone would feed a whole family for a month. I'm sure none of them will notice if I take a few souvenirs along with me. I've had a perfect hiding place under the stairs. I'll put all the souvenirs there. I'll have to keep the key with me. Yeah, I already know about that. Hopefully there's something useful in here. Because I'm running out of ideas. Finally. That's everything. Let's get moving. Isabella, run like the wind out of here. I was worried there for a second that I would have to start this all over from the beginning, but I won't, luckily. Unlock the front gate, and finally, end the mission. This should do it.